Hey everybody, my name is Beth and I am the Steadfast Stitcher, and this is my Flosstube channel. Today is the first of two WIP parades. These are going to be my older WIPs, the ones I started prior to 2023, and then at the end of the year I will be doing all of the 60 starts that I did in 2023 for my 60th birthday. So these are all the old ones today. As you can see, I am totally surrounded by WIPs. I've had serious startitis for the last several years, so I'm looking forward to 2024 being a year of progress and finishes. So this is my first one for prior to 2023, and then this weekend I am doing my 60th start for my 60th birthday. And so at the end of the year, I will have my 60 starts that I did in 2023 to show you all. So I figured it was best to separate them out to make them a little bit smaller, more manageable. There's still going to be, you know, a bit of time, but I can't wait to show you everything. I've brought out some things that I haven't stitched on in a long time that I'm looking forward to getting some progress in this year. So let's get started. My first one, now I should mention these aren't in any particular order. They're just some that I've been working on, some that I haven't worked on in a couple of years. And so yeah, here we go. This first one is from Butternut Road, Marilyn emblem, and it's the Provence sampler. This one is a favorite of mine. I really enjoy it. Now, with doing 60 starts over the last year, that's more than one a week, I haven't had a lot of time to work on other WIPs, but I've been enjoying starting to get back into doing some of my older WIPs as well. So this is where I'm at with Provence Sampler. I'm using a DMC variegated floss called Paris. And I just love this one. I think the colors are beautiful. I'm doing this on 25 count potato Lagana. And this is a very enjoyable stitch. I believe I started this one in 2021. Early on, I wasn't so good about writing down, you know, dates started and things like that. But when I do my 60 starts parade, they will all be in order. I've kept dates on everything and where I'm at. This next one that's coming into 2024. Oops. I got the corner all bent. Sorry about that. This is Mini Warm at Home. It's Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's Irina Germashova. So that reminds me, if you followed my Flosstube before, that reminds me very much of Chloe. And so, yeah, I had to have that one. I am stitching this on 28 count. Over 1, and this is where I'm at so far. I'm starting in because the cat goes right up to the edge, so I've started on the cat here, and then these are some of the branches outside of the window. This also a very enjoyable stitch. There's big blocks of color, especially 310, but actually I use Anchor Black instead of DMC 310. I just find, especially with full coverage, that I like the coverage a lot better with Anchor Black. This next one is one that I had started with Daydream Stitcher. And this is Matter in Hand. It got bent in the bag, but this is by Jeanette Douglas. I don't know if you can see that it's got all the different languages of cross stitch in there, and I'm actually going to be adding Ukrainian down at the bottom as one of the languages. This one came out for a little bit this year, but not very much. So again, would love to get to 50% on this in 2024. But that's where I'm at so far. I am doing this with the called for threads on Oat 27 count by Bestitch Me over 1. Very, very pretty. I love that tomato. That's terrific. Let's see if you can see it really well. And this is the first of many bags from Patchwork Crossing on Etsy that you will see today. This next one is from Prairie Schooler, and I am doing the Prairie Schooler Santas, and I'm doing what you call tissue boxing, which is I complete one, then go on to the next one, and currently I am working on Peace on Earth. This is the 2019 Santa, and this is where I'm at with him so far. So just a little start, but they go fairly quickly, so I think I'll have this done fairly soon. Definitely a 2024 finish, and then moving on to another Prairie Schooler Santa. And sorry for the zippers, but I want to make sure I get everything back where it's supposed to be. I had a little mishap a couple of years ago doing a WIP parade, and not everything wound up where it was supposed to be. So it was rather interesting getting it all back together. This one is Cross Stitch Nation from Heartstring Samplery. Another really pretty pattern. And I am doing this on 18 count with the call for threads, and it is really wrinkled. And this is a 18 count vintage country mocha. You can't go wrong with vintage country mocha. So just a little start on this, but I enjoy this one. Actually, I can think there's only a couple in here that I'm thinking won't get touched next year, but we'll have to see. This is the first in my collection of long dogs. I absolutely have a thing for long dog samplers, and in fact I am trying to resist starting fish and chips. Becky and Jennifer in my group have already completed it, and Laura, Stitching by the Shore, and Sarah are starting it on January 1st. So I've said I have to complete at least one long dog next year before I can start a new one, because as you'll see, I have several. And yeah, I'm actually kind of glad my startitis complex is over with. This is Quinto Audo, the Pointed Fifth. I love this one. It reminds me, if you've seen the newer one, Saga. This reminds me of kind of a smaller version of Saga. I am doing this on 18 count. And this is where I'm at so far. This is a great one. I really like this. And so that's a little, the pink up here, there's a little pig up at the top of the pattern, so I decided to make him a peppermint pig. Then the little bunny, and then these two blues are gorgeous. And I'm using all DMC. think, but the main colors will be those 2 different shades of blue, and then with a little bit of other colors thrown in. So I'm not in my usual spot today. I actually set up a table so that I can surround myself with whips. And I was kind of shocked going through and separating out my 60 starts from my older whips and looking through the stuff I had in, I don't want to call them UFOs. I just had a pile of patterns that I had put to the side and with no real intent of starting them again or working on them in the near future. But I have pulled out several that I do want to work on this year. Sorry, I should say work on this coming year. I'm not going to get to them this year. I have got one more start, and that is Dorney Lane from Rosewood Manor. And I'm going to start that this weekend. And then I'll have all 60 starts in, and I'm so excited. Now, this is one that was also in my pile of, I didn't think I was going to stitch on it again for a while. But I looked at it, I don't think I stitched on it at all in 2023. But I looked at it again, and it's coming back out. This is Daily Walk in the Woods by Carolyn Manning. And I love this one because it's kind of like, you know how you do Quaker, you get that sense of accomplishment with each motif? This is the same thing with the trees. And I'm doing a complete, almost a complete color conversion on it. I'm adding in some variegateds to this as well. And it is a very fun stitch. So I made the decision that this is coming back out again to get some work. I am doing this on 28 count, 1/1. And that's where I'm at right now. Now, I'm using some variegated floss for the tree trunk. I changed this tree a little bit so it wasn't quite symmetrical. And then this one tree trunk as well I changed. And I think that's it so far. But yeah, I'm kind of playing with it as I go, and I'm really enjoying it. I can't talk today. I'm going to really enjoy having this out again. I'm not sure what turned me off for a bit, but I'm excited to have this one out again. You know, because I need more projects out. This next one is a beauty. It's a full coverage. I'm not going to get this done anytime soon. But I would like to get to at least 25% with this year. Because it is beautiful. This is Heaven and Earth Designs Tree of Life. And it's Ciro Marchetti. And I love this one. So if you follow my channel, you know that I recently also got the Tree of Life from Stitches So Beautiful. And it's a stained glass Tree of Life. I definitely want to do that one as well. But I have to I'm going to follow my rules for next year for new starts, which is I have to have at least 2 finishes before I can start anything new. So, because I have a feeling the first one, when I get 2 finishes done, will be Fish and Chips from Long Dog. And then probably the Stained Glass Tree of Life. But I'll talk more about that in plans in my next regular video, which will be on Wednesday. I believe that's the 20th. Alright, this one is gorgeous. And again, this didn't get any time in 2023. And I'm looking forward to getting some time in it in 2024. I'm not going for a finish. But I do love this pattern. This is a Virlin sampler from I'm going to say it wrong, Historische Stickmuster. And it's beautiful. I am using 18 count opalescent. And I'm using this variegated, I believe it's Sulky Merlot. Now if you can see, there's some really pretty variegation in this. Oh, I'm sorry. No, this isn't. I was thinking of something else as the opalescent. Nope. This isn't opalescent. Here we go. This is where I'm at in Veerland. On the Veerland sampler, I believe, I know this is, let's see, 20 counts, I think. But yeah, look at, I don't know if you can see the colors, but it is so pretty. I definitely want to get some more progress on this year, this coming year. 2023 is not over yet. Although I did officially have my birthday yesterday. And, yeah. So I'm officially 60. Some days you feel it more than others, you know? And my second long dog, number 2. This is Spangled, and this isn't a great printout, but you can get a good idea from Long Dog Samplers. Now this calls for mostly all overdyes. I'm using all the overdyes except for the black overdyed. I'm just using Anchor Black for that. It says, home is where your story begins. And as I recall, there are 76 of these stars in this pattern. So, lots and lots of stars to stitch. See, I didn't even cut the fabric. So this is 20 count Ada. And this is where I'm at so far. I think it's going to be beautiful, but it's not going to be done anytime soon. It's definitely not one that I think I can finish in 2024. Although I can get some good progress. And I love my little Pooh needle minder. It says, what should we do today, Pooh? What should we do? Sorry. What should we do today, Piglet? Why, stitch, of course, Pooh. So yeah, it's Spangled. Definitely one I want to see progress on in this coming year. All right, next. Long Dog. And don't get me wrong, I love my long dogs, but it's like, you need to stop. You definitely need to stop. All right, this is Long Dog Samplers, the new normal. Now, I did also get Pandemic when it was a free pattern, but I'm not planning on stitching on that in 2024. But I am definitely planning on getting some stitches in on the new normal. Because it's a gorgeous pattern. I am using, let's see here. So you can see I've got a huge start on this. Absolutely huge. Sorry, I laugh at myself sometimes. If you're new to my channel, I have to laugh at myself. That's it. That's my huge start on the new normal. I am using Sulky. Let's see what the number is. 4051. I believe this is called Forest Floor. And DMC 3371. So yeah, I think this is a great combination. I really like it. So progress on this one next year, definitely not a finish. That's my plans for that one. And here we go again. And then I have 2 more after this. All right. This one is just got a teeny little start. But I do want to see a lot of progress in this long dog this year. This is You Belong to Me. Yeah, this just really got me with the pyramids, and I think it's beautiful. And I believe EJ Creates from Sunshine Stitchers. I know she was working on this. I don't know if she finished it yet or not. I have to look. But I am doing this in 4025, which is a variegated from DMC. I don't know if you can see the colors in this. But I really like this one. In fact, I'm using this on more than one pattern. And again, here's my huge start. I think I need a long dog step program. What do you think? Long dog 12-step program. But so this is my start on it. I am using 25 count potato Lugana over 1. And I gotta say 25 count is kind of one of my favorite fabrics to stitch on. I've recently started getting more into 36 count over 2. But I do really like 25 count potato Lugana. Now this one is out right now and it's getting some progress, so I love that. This is Riley Harbor by Kathy Barrick. I do love this pattern. There's ships and there's lobsters and crabs and horses, apple trees. It's a great little village scene. I am using the DMC conversion from the NPI Silks. And, oops, I almost dropped the floss. Get back in the bag. And then I am using 18 count scroll from Be Stitch Me. And this is where I'm at right now. So yeah, this has come back out. I finished this house, and moving on to the next one, or just getting in some of the road down here and down here. There's a kind of a dark gray road that goes across. But yeah, this is out right now for a couple of games in Whipwires, and I used it for my acrostic and crafts and books. So it's getting a good bit of progress. My plan is to finish this in 2024. Now, it's a good sized piece, but it's a lot of blocks of color. So there's, you know, you're not color changing every 5 minutes. There's a lot of nice big blocks of color. So my goal is to finish Riley Harbor in 2024. Okay, next up. This one was put to the side for quite some time and is coming back out for 2024. In fact, I did a little bit of stitching in it earlier in the year. But this is 10,000 Lakes by Carolyn Manning. And I must say that I am totally inspired by a couple people in my group that have been working on Carolyn Manning, especially Rebecca, and the pieces that she's done. They're beautiful. So it kind of inspired me to get 10,000 Lakes back out again and work on it. I am doing this, oh goodness. Sorry, I just dropped everything. All right. I am doing this on 28 count easy grid, and this is where I'm at the moment. Whoops, wait, almost made a mess. There we go. So yeah, that's where I'm at, 28 count easy grid with all the called for colors. Oh, I'm glad to get this one back out again. I'm happy about that. This next one is fun. I am doing it on a Stitch Me fabric that I won in a drawing. And so this is Ink Circles, Fire Burn, and Cauldron Bubble. And I am using the black etoile on this. And so I believe this is a 16 count fabric that I won. I think it was called Wicked, although it doesn't have its tag anymore. But yeah, look at that. I love this fabric. It's great. And then, I don't know if you can see the sparkle at all, but it is all on the black etoile. And so, I'm going to say, I'm not really sure about a finish this year, but I definitely do want to bring this one out. Especially, we have Witchy Wednesdays in our group where it's not required to do fall or Halloween stitching, but definitely encouraged. And Bridget in our group hosts that. And so I may bring that back out for the next Witchy Wednesday or two. This one is from Little House Needleworks, and I really like this one. I think it's going to be a gift eventually, but I'm not positive. This is Home of a Needleworker 2. Let's see. Yep, Home of a Needleworker 2. I had to double check. So for this one, I'm using a mix of the Called For Overdyes and DMC. I'm using the Called For Overdyed for the house. And then I think most of the rest of it will be in the DMC conversion. But I really like this house. And blue's one of my favorite colors, so I'm happy. I'm going to aim for a finish for this one for 2024. But we will see. Definitely progress. I would love to say I'm going to get like 100 finishes next year, but that's not going to happen. But I will be sticking to my rule of 2 finishes to 1 start. And Whipwires, they recently closed up again for the year, but they are a great way to get some real progress on your whips. And actually, I'm finding, too, doing the acrostic puzzle that I have in my group every month is helpful for getting progress as well. This next one is by Rosewood Manor, and this is Homewards. And this is just such a sweet, fun pattern, and the colors are lovely. And she also has suggestions on back for smaller versions of the pattern that you can use, and I really like it. Lots and lots and lots of color changes in this one. This one had a sulky pack with it. I don't know if you can see. These are a couple of the colors. Some of them are variegated. Some are solid. This one's variegated. It's really pretty when you stitch it up. But there is a sulky pack with this. And this was the one I was thinking of that was on opalescent. So this is on 18 count opalescent. And this is where I'm at with this so far. And I don't think, I'd have to double check, but I think it only came out for like a day or two in 2023. But definite progress on this one in 2024. Because it really is a fun stitch. And the words are all solid colors. It's these little emblems that are like lots and lots of color changes. But they turn out beautifully. So, yeah. And I love stitching this on the opalescent. I think it's really pretty. All right, next up, I'm gonna pause for 1 second. I keep shaking my table. But I'm gonna move things around a bit to get ready for the next pile here. I was so glad that I did all this morning with separating them out, the 60 starts and these, because, and my older ones, because that'll make doing the 60 starts WIP Parade a lot easier. All right, this next one is also ink circles, and this is Forests of Sumatra. I just love this piece. I think it's gorgeous. Now, I am doing this all with blue spruce from Gentle Arts. And I know on the camera it comes out darker than it is, but I'm doing this on 18 count Grog by Bee Stitch Me. I was hoping with doing my WIP Parade in daylight that it might show up better, but it's still looking almost black and not dark green. Yeah, this is a very fun stitch. I really like this one. I don't have any specific plans on it other than I would like to have it out again in 2024 because I really enjoy this one. I don't think I quite realized how many older WIPs that I still have till I started separating out everything and getting ready to go. Now this one is in, I gotta show this bag because it's stunning. This is from Patchwork Crossing. I think this is my favorite bag that I've gotten from her. It is just gorgeous. I love this one. So for this one, I have in it, come here, Quaker Virtues by Bygone Stitches. And it's a beautiful Quaker. It's huge. So it's got different words in it like simplicity, integrity, equality, harmony, honesty. And yeah, it's gorgeous. I am using all one color, and well, actually I'm using this variegated 4505. And then I am also using the colors that are in 4505 individually. Now here we go again. This is 25 count Potato Lagana over 1. And this is where I'm at right now. And it's just gorgeous. I love this one. Not aiming for a finish in 2024, but serious progress on this one because I do really love it. It's just beautiful colors. And it's got a lot of great sentiments on it as well. Important words. All right, next. This is one that I had originally started in 2017, and then I think, not sure what happened, but kind of life got in the way. I changed my mind on the floss, a whole bevy of things. But this is Fox and Rabbit 2017 Mystery Sampler. And I had the individual parts originally, and then, oops. Ooh, I just hit the camera. I had the original parts that came out, and then, of course, I couldn't find one or two of the parts when I went to pick this back up again. So I did end up, I purchased the full complete pattern on Fox and Rabbit's website, and it also works great in Pattern Keeper. So I have this one back out again and restarted, and I am using a mix of 898, this is kind of a chocolate brown, and DMC 69, which is looking a little brighter, I think, than it actually is. But this is 69, it's terracotta variegated. And I am stitching this on 25 count, not another sampler, from Bestitch Me. And this is where I'm at. So yeah, I'm really glad I restarted it. I love the way these colors are playing. I think it's going to be a beautiful design. And I'm planning on doing, alternating between the 898 chocolate brown and the terracotta variegated, just to break things up a bit. I think it adds some interest to it as well. Come here. Get back in the bag. This one is one that I absolutely love, and I've seen a couple people working on it lately, so it really makes me want to bring it back out. And I'm not sure why it hasn't been out in so long, but because it's gorgeous. This is the Blue Flower by Huckleberry Farm. And I think having Ginny McGowan at the Jingle Ball and everything just kind of helped inspire me to get this back out again. And I've got a decent amount done on it. I still got a ways to go, but I do have a decent amount. And this is 18 count Sprite from Picture This Plus with the called for colors. I've seen somebody that did a complete color conversion on this, and it is gorgeous, but I must admit, I really love these colors. I love the bears. I'm going to aim for, let's see, I'm not writing it down right now, but I'm going to go back after the video's uploaded and write these down. I'm going to aim for 50% on this one next year. And not for a finish, but definitely get at least halfway completed. Because it's just so pretty, and that fabric is lovely. I don't know if it plays well in the camera, but it's kind of a very light lavender, and I think it goes really well with the huckleberries. And of course, I'm seeing there's a couple specialty fibers in here, aka cat hair. I don't think you'll see the girls for the video today because they are totally confused by why did I put a table in my living room for doing a WIP parade. Totally messed them up doing that. Let's see, go there. This is another cute bag that I got. And I actually have, this is three patterns in one bag. It's great. It's a good size bag. All right. So this first one was a free pattern from Lindy Stitches, and it's Sugar Plum Dreams. And I only just got the tiniest start on this one. Where's my blue fabric? Yep, that's all I have so far. I've got 3 patterns in this bag, and I'm going for a finish on all 3 of them. None of them are huge, and I think it's doable. Ultimately, I would love to retire so I could stitch all day long, but that's not going to happen for a little bit yet. Where'd you go? Oh, and it's on the bottom. This next one that I'm also aiming for a finish on was also a freebie from Twin Peak Primitives, and it is Winter Tranquility. Gorgeous pattern. And a lot of B5200 solid stitching on it too. Oops. All right, so this is where I'm at with Winter Tranquility. I think this is a beautiful pattern. I don't know if you can see the white in there, but I do have a good bit of white stitching in there. And yeah, this is very enjoyable. This also works in Pattern Keeper, which is really nice. And then third one I have in here is Quake Your Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Matthews. Boop. And I am doing the blue. I am using 20 count from Be Stitch Me. And I believe this is one that I picked up at Friday Night Fight Night. That doesn't have a name. But so, little start on this one. But that's where I'm at. I'm also thinking that some of these individual snowflakes will do well for the ATC card swap that Stitching by the Shore Laura is putting on this year. So I may end up doing some snowflakes for ATC trading cards. But yeah, I'm going to aim for all three of these finished in 2024. As none of them are huge. This one I've got Winter Tranquility. I've got a lot done. There's a lot of solid just B5200 stitching left on this. And that should go really fast. So yeah, I'm going to put that down as one of my goals. This one, I don't really have any plans for 2024. I'm not sure I'm going to be picking it up. But definitely wanted to show you all. I believe the store has closed on Etsy, but I'm not 100% sure. This is Magellanic cross stitch. This is a very good printout. But this is a bookshelf. The bookcase. Yeah, the bookcase. Sorry. And Stitches with Shelby did this one and finished it. And it was just really lovely how hers came out. She did not do hers monochromatic either. And I am not doing mine either as monochromatic. I am doing all overdyed, well, overdyed and DMC on 28 count. And for the bookcase itself, I am using Weeks Dye Works Rum Raisin, and I love that color. It's just gorgeous. So, I don't really have any plans for this one coming out in 2024. Not that I don't like it, I do, but it's not in my plans. This also, what I'm going to show, it's also from Galliana, and just not in my plans for 2024, but who knows. This is House of Christmas. And my plans could definitely change, or I can swap things around, but right now it's not in my plans. I am using all, let's see, it's a mix of two colors. This is 890, and it's forest green, and then this is Anchor, and it came off the skein, Candy Apple Red Variegated. And this is off the skeins, not the spools. All right. So I am working on the middle floor, and that's where I'm at the moment. again, don't really have plans for this to come out in 2024. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but not high on my list of things I want to work on next year. All right, you don't want to go in there. All right, let's try this. Goodness gracious, it doesn't want to go back in the bag. Saying, stitch me. Don't put me away. All right. Again, I can't believe. Yeah. WIPsnet 2024. Whips, and more whips. Progress. This is Lunar Witch from Autumn Lane. And I really like this one with a little baby dragon that she has in her hand. And the gate around her. I think it's a fantastic pattern. I'm using all the call for colors on this one. This one is really wrinkled. This is Badlands 20 count from Be Stitch Me. Wow. Maybe I should have ironed this one. Alright, so this is where I'm at with this. So I basically have her hat, and I'm working on one of her arms and her sleeve. And then I have the gold, it's hard to see, but I've got the gold band that goes down the middle. Yeah, this is a great pattern. It's fun to stitch. I think this is one of the ones that I'm going to keep around to work on for Witchy Wednesdays with our Zoom group. And maybe just alternate every other, every Wednesday with doing different projects. Of course, I do film every other Wednesday too for my floss tube. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. This one I am definitely going for a finish on this year. 2024, I should say. This is Waxing Moon Designs, Midnight Manor. I'm doing the one at the bottom, and that is a fun pattern. I am using all Weeks Dye Works Fathom for this one, which is a great mix of really dark navy, black, dark gray. It's great fabric and a great thread to stitch with. So I've got a good bit done on this one. This is where I'm at. So I think it's definitely doable for a finish in 2024. We shall see, but I think it could definitely do it. Oh, and this is also on 28 count, over 1. This is one you've probably seen before. It did come out for a little bit in 2023. And I'm sorry, I've only got a tiny picture of this. But it is Small Magellanic Cloud from Heaven and Earth Designs. And it's a NASA image. And it is fantastic. I am doing this on 18 count, easy grid, 2/1 full cross. And this is where I'm at with it. I don't know if you can see all the colors that are in here. I think it's going to be spectacular when it's finished. I don't think it's going to be 2024. Maybe 2025. But yeah. It is a great stitch. I enjoy it. I had put it away for a while. But I am really glad to have it back out again. Bang. All right. Next, this is my primitive hair piece from, this is Jane Eyre. And I really like this one. It says, I am no bird and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. Love that. I am doing this on 28 count Badlands over 1 from Bestitch Me. Hello, where are you? Here we go. Oops, let me do this. So I've got her name, the author's name, and then I've started on the top of Jane Eyre's head. So definitely progress for this one in 2024. But I'm not going to beat myself up if I don't get it finished either. Alright, I had to take a quick pause. Alright. Get our next one out here. This is from Modern Folk Embroidery. Oh, there we go. And this is Real Comfort by Jane, it's a Jane Austen quote. And I do really like this one. I am using Anchor Black and the red variegated from DMC. I believe it's 15. So this is where I'm at right now. I like this piece, and I do want to see more work, more progress on it this coming year. Thread stuck. There we go. And that Jane Austen quote from Modern Folk Embroidery, Real Comfort. I like that one a lot. All right. Next up. I'm going to show this one, but I don't plan on working on it in 2024. There's a few reasons for it. But, mainly it's just that I'm not feeling it right now, and I'm not digging how this first house is looking. But so show it. It's the Houses of Haw Run Hollow from Carriage House Samplings. And I do love all the Haw Run Hollow pieces. I think maybe I just don't like the DMC conversion for this one. I just not digging the colors on this first house. Oh, that's all I've got on it so far. And it may stay in timeout for I don't know how long. Or I may just have to like rip this out and get the NPIs because I'm just don't like the color. Or just change it to a color that I want to stitch on. Maybe I'll make it a blue house. I don't know. But I brought that one just to show, but I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be coming out this coming year. Alright. I'm going to move over my big bag. I am not done yet. Now this one is partly done. These are the Nantucket Christmas houses from Hemlock and Rye. Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. So I finished the first house. I believe that's Cherry Street. And then I'm working on the second house, which is Orange Street. And I'm stitching them all three together. And the third one is Quint Street. But I'm mixing in some at 12 for the Christmas tree and the wreath. Other than that, I'm using all the called fors. Oh, and I'm going to put a toile in the border as well. But this is a very fun stitch. I have Oliver House series. But so far, this is the only one that I've worked on, but I do really like it. It's a fun stitch. Oh, yeah. So I'm working on the Christmas tree right now in this house. I'm going to say finish for this one for 2024. Definitely for this house, the second house. I wouldn't mind if I finish all 3 houses in 2024 either. I think that would be great. Get that all done. This one is an oldie but goodie, and I definitely want to put some stitches in on it this year. I'm wondering if I left... Anyways, this is one that I got from M. Kissa Creations, and I don't have the picture here, unfortunately, but it's Things I Know for Certain, and it's from, oh my goodness, the movie with Nicole Kidman and, oh my gosh, Sandra Bullock. Midnight Margaritas, and it's got the always throw spilled salt over your left shoulder. Use lavender for luck. And then it's got the witches at the bottom with their umbrellas. And I'm doing this on 28 count. And the witches should fall right in where it's really purpley with their umbrellas. So I think that's going to work really well. Sorry, I don't have the picture. I will try and remember to insert it here. When I upload, before I upload the video. But that's a fun design. I did not stitch on it at all in 2023. So I would like to see a little progress on it in 2024. Oh, oops, I pulled out a 2023 start. That's wrong. Here we go. This is a prior to 2023 start. This is from the book Cross Stitch for the Earth by Emma Congdon. There's a lot of great patterns in this book if you haven't checked it out before. I have all 3 of hers, and I really like them. And the one that I am working on is The Earth Has Music for Those Who Listen. It's a quote from William Shakespeare. Yeah, this is so pretty. I am doing this on 18 count Fiddler's Cloth Aida. Oops, a couple of dangly threads on there. And this is where I'm at. Oh, yeah, really pretty stitch. Like this one. Yeah, it's showing very see-through. I can kind of see where I need to trim threads just by looking at this. But yeah, very enjoyable stitch, and I'm looking forward to getting back to this one. If not a finish, definite real progress on it in 2024, because I really like it. One. This one I came back to start doing, I took multiple year break on doing cross stitch. And then when I came back to it, one of the first things that I started when I came back was a Paula Vaughn pattern. you can see it's got a Walmart tag on here. It's the last time Walmart sold cross-stitch patterns. But this is Summer Breeze, and it is by Paula Vaughn. And I do love this one. That house is gorgeous, and that quilt is beautiful. I had to do a restart on this one because I made a huge mistake on it. And I actually had so much more done on it. But I did restart it completely. So I've got, this is the edge of the house here. And then this is the start of the big tree that's in the middle of the pattern. This guy right here. So I was glad to get this one restarted, and I definitely want to see progress on it this year. I don't have a specific goal in mind other than, you know, I want it to come out in 2024. All right, next. Now this is a Christmas one that I really want to stitch on this year. It's just beautiful. This is a really bad picture cover photo that came with a pattern because it's a lot prettier than this. But it is Quaker Christmas 2 by Bygone Stitches. So it has all the different various Christmas carols in there, Quaker symbols, you know, and it's got like the 3 ships and silver bells. I am doing this on 20 count Rustico Aida with a combination of the DMC variegated red, the 15, and then 890 green, and little bits of étoile here and there. Oh my goodness, I should have refolded this beforehand. I didn't look. Alright. Now, this is where I'm at so far. And yeah, I love the way that DMC 15 is playing out. And then I'm doing most of the Christmas carols are going to be in that 890 green. And then, I don't know if she shows up well here, but there's a little angel and silver étoile. I thought was really pretty. Yeah, this is just, it's so gorgeous. So this is the second Bygone Stitches that I had. The other one was the Quaker Virtues that I showed earlier. And I really love both of them. I think they're just stunning. Oop, get back in the bag. Come on. All right. Oops. Oop, I got to pause for a second. The bag was going timber. Now, this is one that I had started, and then when I realized, I do this too many times, and I hate to admit it, but I do. When I realized I made a big mistake, that I needed to frog, I've like put it to the side. I'll come back to it later. I still haven't gone back to it, and I really want to this year, because this is one of my favorite books. This is from Stitching Book Club, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. And it's Little Women. Beautiful pattern, beautiful colors. And really, I just need to get this back out, frog my mistake, and get working on it again. It is not huge. It is 130 by 154. And, you know, if not a finish, I can definitely get a large part of it done after I frog it. Frog my mistake. Alright, so this is where I'm at with this now. It's so pretty. I just love the colors on this. I think they're gorgeous. And yeah, just need to fix the mistake and get back to it. No more excuses. It just really is beautiful. And I believe this is 20 count from Dying for Cross Stitch. And I just can't think of the name right now. I'll have to look it up, but it might be Ash or Lunar. Yeah. I just need to fix it and get back to it. No excuses. Because it is such a pretty pattern. I really like that one. Next is the original Home of a Needleworker. They saw I'm working on Home of a Needleworker 2. This is the original with the brown house, which is their logo. Okay. This one is on 18 count Fiddler's Cloth Ada. And I really don't have much done on this one. So I've just done some of the border and then I'm outlining part of the roof. I would like to get back to this year. Not aiming for a finish or anything specific other than I would like to see it out again this year. Almost there. Now, I brought this one out, but this is one I do want to do a restart on because I'm not very happy with how the threads are laying. I did this with 18 count on an overdyed fabric with 2 threads, and I'm not really digging it, but I love this pattern, so I am going to restart this at some point with just doing 1/1. But this is Cat Lover's Quaker from Jardin Privé. And to me, it's just, I think, it's too poofy. I'm just not liking the 2 threads over 1. But that is just me. That's just my opinion. I've felt like it was way too tight working on it. But like I said, this is a gorgeous pattern. And I do want to work on it again. I just need to put it down to 1 thread. And this is Oat from Be Stitch Me. Only got a few left. Now this has only gotten a tiny start. This is from Tilton Crafts and it's called Dreamscape. But I love this pattern. It's very, very dark to stitch on, but it is gorgeous. And my friend Emily has, I've got Dreamscape by this artist, and then she has Fable. So hopefully maybe we can both work on ours in 2024. And like I said, just a small start. This is on 28 count easy grid over 1. And that's all I have done at the moment. I don't know if you can see there are greens in there, but I think it's hard to see in the camera. Get back in the bag. Oh, this one cracked me up. I don't know how or when or why, but I apparently couldn't make up my mind, so I started this twice. This is QS, A Stitch in Time, Sweet Life by Amy Stewart, charted by Haid, Heaven and Earth Designs, and I really like this pattern. I love the books. And her stitching over there in the corner. But I don't know what I was thinking. So I started this on 18 count. And I started this on 28 count. What the heck? I do think I'm going to stick with the 28 count, but it's like, how did I do that? Why did I do that? Yeah. Apparently, and they were in 2 separate bags, so I obviously started them 2 separate times, but what was I thinking? Oh my goodness. All right. So, yay, I'm down to the last 2 of Ye Olde WIPs. All right, so my first one that I'm going to show you here, this is in my deer bag from Patchwork Crossing. I just love that. Oh, and it's got hedgehogs in it too. It's so cute. I'm hoping I have a picture because it kept falling out of the envelope. I guess I don't have it with me. This is from Mirabilia, and it is Garden Prelude. It's the one where she's playing the violin. And this is on Fabric Flare. And so this is where I'm at with her gown. And I won't comment on the fabric because it was supposed to be Monet's Field, and doesn't really look like that to me. Doesn't look anything like the picture, but I love the colors in this Garden Prelude from Mirabilia, and I definitely want to get more progress on this in 2024. This I am doing 28 count over 2. I am also working on, which I started this year in 2023, Elizabeth and the Lavender Sky, which is an older discontinued Mirabilia, and it is stunning. All right, and down to the last one. Woohoo! This is in my farm bag. This is a huge one, but I love it. It is 307 by 207. This is Live on Little from Plum Street Samplers. Look at that. I do have a nice start on this one, so I'm not looking for a finish in 2024, but definitely progress. I am doing this on 25 count over 1. I did have a couple people when I started this message me that I wasn't going to like 25 count over 1 with this because you're going to lose detail. So far, I'm not seeing that, but I haven't gotten into like the nitty gritty of stuff yet. So we'll see how I feel about it. But so far, I'm really liking 25 count over 1. And this is what I have so far. I do have a nice start on this, but no, it's not going to get finished in 2024. But I would love to see more progress. So, oh my goodness, this is it. That's all of them. I can't believe it. That's all the ones that were started prior to 2023. Oh my goodness. So at the end of this year, I will be doing my WIP Parade with all of the 60 starts that I did in 2023 to celebrate my 60th birthday. And so, yeah, I'm bringing all these WIPs forward, hopefully for some finishes, some good progress, and dwindling down the number of WIPs that I have. I can say, at least for right now, yeah, I can't speak to the future, but my startitis is temporarily cured, or it's in remission, whatever you want to call it. But right now I don't have any desire to start anything new. I want to thank you all so much for sticking with me for this WIP parade. My next regular floss tube will be on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 20th. And there will be a giveaway. So I hope you'll join me. And then sometime towards the end of the year, I will have the 60 starts for my 60th birthday WIP parade. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate all of you. I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season and getting in lots of great stitchy time. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and take care of each other.